flowers first. Even before your morning coffee, you said every little living thing deserved a chance to greet the day. The old clay pot sat by the front door, paint chipped from years of summer sun. I walked past it 1,000 times, never knowing what it held. Then one quiet Tuesday morning, while moving it to sweep the porch, something small fell into my hand, an old brass key wrapped in blue thread. No note, no map, just your handwriting on a tiny tag for the day you're finally ready. The key hidden in the flower pot was never meant to lock the past. It opened every memory I thought the years had buried fast. Some secrets bloom instead of fade, like roses climbing weathered walls. Love doesn't always disappear, sometimes it waits inside the smallest things of all. The locksmith smiled when he saw the key. They don't make these anymore. He watched me leave with quiet eyes, as if he somehow knew the story. At the edge of our little hometown stood a tiny greenhouse, overgrown. Vines had swallowed every window, yet the lock still fit perfectly. Inside were wooden shelves of seedlings, rusty watering cans, faded gloves, and on the workbench sat a dusty box with my name written across the top. No diamonds, no fortune, just pieces of a beautiful life. The key hidden in the flower pot unlocked a room filled up with light. Pressed flowers inside old journals, letters written every night. Photographs I'd never seen, recipes stained with sugar and flour. Love had been growing quietly, like a garden after April showers. There was one last envelope. Inside you wrote, if you're reading this, you finally stopped rushing. The happiest lives aren't built in giant moments. They're grown one ordinary day at a time. Plant something, bake something, call someone you love. That's enough. I read those words again and again, while sunlight filled the greenhouse floor. The key hidden in the flower pot didn't change who I had been. It simply showed the quiet roads I'd forgotten how to walk again. Now every spring I leave a flower beside that weathered clay pot still, not because I'm waiting anymore, but because love keeps blooming long after goodbye. Every morning I water the flowers first, just like you. And every new blossom reminds me some of life's greatest treasures were never hidden. They were simply waiting to be noticed. Every summer started just the same. The sidewalk shimmered in the heat again. Kids were drawing chalk across the road, dreaming bigger than we'd ever know. You lived 3 houses down from mine, always running just behind the time. Haircut, dancing in the afternoon, laughing underneath the June. We never needed fancy plans, just sticky fingers, borrowed hands. The whole world fit inside life was sweeter than enough. We counted coins inside old jars, pretending they were shooting stars. Chocolate stains on paper sleeves, summer tangled in the breeze. Your bicycle had squeaky wheels, somehow that made everything feel real. We raced until the daylight bent, never asking where it went. We built forever out of afternoons, thinking August lasted longer than the moon. Every corner held another chance, another reason just to laugh before the music reached our street. 5 minutes before the ice cream truck, nothing in the world could interrupt. Every smile was free to keep, every promise ours to dream. Cotton clouds above the park, fireflies waiting for the dark. If I close my eyes, it's true, I'm still running there with you. 5 minutes before the ice cream truck, everything still felt brand new. Years turned quietly into photographs, old driveways faded from the map. The chalk washed away, the swings grew still, the neighborhood learned different names. But every July I slow my car, just hoping for one familiar melody. 5 minutes before the ice cream truck, the world believed in simple luck. No deadlines hanging overhead, just tomorrow waiting instead. Maybe growing up means carrying those little songs inside your memory. The sweetest days don't disappear, they echo year after year. 5 minutes before the ice cream truck still lives somewhere inside my heart. If you ever hear that distant chime, stop for a moment, smile. Some memories never melt away. There's a blue apron by the kitchen window, hanging from a nail beside the clock. A little flower still lives in the pocket, and one loose thread curls at the top. You wore it every Sunday morning, dancing barefoot across the floor. You burn the toast and blame the toaster, then laugh until I laugh some more. I never thought those little moments would become the ones I'd miss. Funny how a whole life hides inside ordinary things like this. I used to think love needed fireworks, something everyone could see. But maybe love was you making breakfast and saving the last strawberry for me. That blue apron by the kitchen window still moves when the summer breeze comes through. For half a second from the hallway, I almost think that it is you. Not every memory needs a photograph, not every goodbye needs words. Sometimes love stays in the smallest places long after someone's gone. So I leave that blue apron by the kitchen window, right where it belongs. The calendar changed without permission. Spring came early, then disappeared. I learned to cook your tomato soup from the recipe you kept for years. Your handwriting leaned across the paper, more basil than you think you need. Underneath you drew a tiny heart beside a faded grease-stained crease. Now friends say I should change the kitchen, paint the walls and clear the shelves, but healing doesn't always mean removing every trace of someone else. I don't cry each time I see it now. Some days I even smile. Grief stopped feeling like an ocean and became a softer tide. That blue apron by the kitchen window still moves when the evening breeze comes through. It doesn't make the room feel empty. It reminds me what was true. And not every memory needs a photograph. Not every ending turns to dust. Sometimes what we thought we'd lost forever becomes another shape of love. So I leave that blue apron by the kitchen window, because remembering is enough. One Sunday, my little niece came over, standing on a chair to reach the bowl. She got flour across her forehead and laughed before I told her so. Then she pointed toward the window. Can I wear that one today? My hands went still. For years I thought that letting someone touch it would somehow take you farther away. But I lifted it down slowly, tied the strings behind her back, and when she spun around the kitchen, something broke and loosened at last. Now the blue apron leaves the kitchen window every Sunday when she comes around. There's flour in the air again, and bare feet dancing on the ground. I finally learned that keeping love doesn't mean keeping things unchanged. Sometimes memories grow stronger when we let them live again. So when she hangs that blue apron by the kitchen window at the ending of the day, I don't see what I lost anymore. I see what you gave: a wooden spoon, a handwritten page, a little blue apron softened by age. The morning comes through the kitchen window, and love still has a place. Sunday morning, 9:30, you took the sports page, I took mine. Two chipmunks on a wooden table, reading headlines when we were able. You'd circle houses we couldn't buy. I'd read the weather and wonder why. You always laughed when the forecast changed, like sunshine had already learned your name. The crossword waited between our chairs. You knew the answers I never guessed. Nothing about those mornings felt grand, but somehow they became our best. We never needed Saturday nights or crowded rooms and city lights, just folded pages, coffee rings, and all those ordinary things. We were Sunday newspaper hearts, ink on our fingers, worlds apart. newspaper hearts. Years went by in little ways, different glasses, slower days. The Sunday paper grew more thin, but every week we let it in. You'd save the travel section for me, places we might someday see. I'd clip recipes you'd never make, just to hear you joke about my mistakes. Then one November, cold and clear, your coffee sat untouched beside me. I read the whole front page alone and left your crossword incomplete. Funny what the heart remembers, not anniversaries or diamond rings, but how you folded every corner and hung by reading little things. We were Sunday newspaper hearts, ink on our fingers, worlds apart from all the noise outside our door, making forever out of something small. You'd read me stories, I'd steal your chair. Now morning leaves an empty space there, but every headline takes me back to two Sunday newspaper hearts. Last week I found an old clipping tucked inside a kitchen drawer. A tiny house you'd circled twice, 27 years before. Beside it in your crooked writing, maybe someday you and me. I laugh because we never bought it, but somehow we got everything. We had birthdays in that kitchen, Christmas mornings down the hall, arguments we barely remember, and a love that survived them all. We were Sunday newspaper hearts, never perfect from the start, just morning light across the floor, and someone worth waking for. Now I read the pages by myself, but I don't feel alone somehow, 'cause every quiet Sunday morning still carries something of you now. No fireworks, no grand goodbye, just years that passed like paper skies. If love can live in simple parts, then ours still does in Sunday newspaper hearts. I fold the paper like you did, leave the crossword where you sat, pour 2 cups out of habit, and smile and drink just one. I started taking Charlie out at 7, just before the neighborhood got loud. He'd pull me toward the sycamore trees, chasing every squirrel he found. You were always on the opposite bench, with a golden retriever named June. She'd steal Charlie's tennis ball, then bring it right back to you. For 3 weeks we only waved hello, like strangers often do, until one Tuesday Charlie slipped his leash and ran straight over to you. You laughed and said, I think our dogs are better at this than we are. I sat beside you for 5 minutes. 5 minutes somehow went too far. On the bench across the dog park, we learned each other piece by piece. You knew how I took my coffee, I knew you hated while Charlie ran in circles and June rolled underneath the trees. I wasn't looking for somebody, but somebody found me. On the bench across the dog park, love happened quietly. By May I started bringing 2 drinks, though you never asked me to. You brought little treats for Charlie, and I kept an extra one for June. We talked about your first apartment, my terrible year in Tennessee, the jobs we almost walked away from, the people we were scared to be. Then one evening you arrived alone and said without a word, I looked around for June behind you, but only traffic could be heard. You stared down at her empty leash and tried so hard to smile. You said she made it 14 good years, so I stayed there for a while. On the bench across the dog park, you leaned your shoulder into mine. Charlie rested at your feet, like somehow he could read your mind. There wasn't anything to fix, no perfect words that I could speak, so I just held your trembling hand and let you grieve with me. On the bench across the dog park, love meant staying quietly. You stopped coming for a little while, I never asked you why. Some evenings I would watch that bench as daylight crossed the sky. Then one Saturday in early June, Charlie suddenly pulled free. I followed where you wanted to go, and there you were beneath the trees. You had a little rescue puppy, all paws and crooked ears. You said her name is Daisy, then laughed through happy tears. She jumped straight on the Charlie like they'd waited all their lives. You looked at me and whispered, maybe we're allowed to try. Not every love arrives like thunder, not every story starts with sparks. Sometimes it looks like muddy sneakers, loose dog hair and evening walks. Sometimes healing has 4 paws, sometimes courage holds a leash. Sometimes everything you're searching for is sitting across the street. Now the bench across the dog park is the bench where we both stay. Daisy races after Charlie. At the ending of each day there are 2 cups beside us, and your fingers wrapped in mine. We never planned a single moment, but somehow they aligned. On the bench across the dog park, I found more than company. I wasn't looking for forever, forever found me. 2 dogs running through the clover, 2 coffee cups gone cold, 1 ordinary wooden bench, and a story neither of us knew we'd get to hold. Friday evening, 6:15, I had strawberries, bread and milk. You stood ahead with a frozen pizza, a bag of lemons and vanilla creamer. Line number 4 was moving slow. The cashier laughed, you've got nowhere to go. You turned around and caught my eye, then held up your ice cream and said goodnight to try. I laughed harder than I should, and somehow awkward felt pretty good. You let me go ahead that day, but I secretly wished you'd made me stay. Next Friday came and there you were. Same little line, same faded shirt. Maybe coincidence gets two tries, but by the third week so did I. Meet me in our favorite checkout line, where your cereal sits next to mine. Between the candy and magazines, you became my favorite part of the week. No candlelight, no grand design, just grocery bags and borrowed time. Funny how forever can begin under fluorescent lights at 6:30 in our favorite checkout line. By September, you knew my list. Peanut butter, peaches, peppermint. I knew you always forgot the eggs, then remembered when you reached the register again. We started sharing one shopping cart. You pushed the front, I checked things off. We argued over which pasta sauce was worth the extra $1 that it cost. Mrs. Kelly at register 4 started smiling when we crossed the floor. She'd open up her lane and say, your favorite customers are here today. There was music in the air, no perfect movie moment there, just you reaching across the cart for the same chocolate bar. Meet me in our favorite checkout line, where your cereal sits next to mine. Between the candy and magazines, you became my favorite part of the week. No candlelight, no grand design, just grocery bags and borrowed time. Funny how forever can begin under fluorescent lights at 6:30 in our favorite checkout line. Years later, there's a smaller hand dropping cookies in our cart again. She has your eyes and my stubborn smile, and asks why we always choose this aisle. So we tell her about two strangers with too much time one Friday night, and how a slow cashier accidentally changed the rest of both our lives. She laughs and says, that isn't romantic. You look at me and grin, maybe not to everyone. Still meet me in our favorite checkout line. Now your hand fits easy into mine. Between the cereal and tangerines, we're living everything we couldn't see. No fairy tale, no grand design, just ordinary days becoming alive. If I could start over again, I'd buy those strawberries at 6:30 and stand behind you every time. Because sometimes love doesn't arrive with fireworks across the sky. Sometimes it's waiting with a shopping cart in your favorite checkout line. Friday evening, 6:15, one cart, 3 grocery bags, 2 hands holding tight. At the end of Hawthorne Street stood a house we used to know. White paint peeling from the shutters, wild mint growing down below. By the sidewalk leaned a mailbox, orange underneath the rust. Number 12 was barely showing, but I recognized it just. I hadn't walked that block in ages, didn't plan on stopping there, till I saw a folded letter waiting like somebody cared. No return name in the corner, no postmark from another town, just my name across the paper in the handwriting I knew somehow. At the orange mailbox at number 12, he left the disappear as well. I found the goodbye you never gave me at the orange mailbox at number 12. I sat beneath the old oak tree and opened 20 folded pages. Some were dated every birthday, some had waited there for ages. One said you moved to Arizona, one said your mother wasn't well, one described a tiny kitchen and the herbs along your windowsill. You wrote about a job you hated, about the dog you named Louise, about hearing our old inside joke from a stranger overseas. Every letter ended softly with the line, I never known. I hope wherever life has taken you, you've made somewhere feel like home. At the orange mailbox at number 12, I met the years we never shared, not in photographs or phone calls, but in words still waiting there. You never asked me to come running, never promised some fairy tale. You simply left a piece of your life at the orange mailbox at number 12. Then underneath the oldest envelope, I found one written just last spring. The paper wasn't faded, and that changed everything. It said, I'm coming back in August, I'll be there on Saturday. If the mailbox is still standing, I'll leave one final page. I checked the date upon my phone, my hands began to shake. August wasn't months away, Saturday was today. I could have left before you came, maybe that would have hurt less. We built entire separate lives from one unfinished sentence. But some doors don't need reopening for two hearts to make amends. Sometimes you only need the truth to understand how something ends. Then tires whispered on the gravel, a car stopped down the street. The driver's door swung open, and there you were in front of me. By the orange mailbox at number 12, we didn't run into each other's arms. We laughed because we'd both grown older, and cried because we'd come this far. You said I never stopped remembering. I said neither did I, if I tell the truth. Then we stood beside that crooked box, like the younger me and you. The orange mailbox at number 12, we didn't try to start again. We finally gave our story the ending it deserved back then. And when I walked away that evening, I didn't take the letters down. Some memories aren't meant for carrying, they're meant to have a place to be found. White house, old oak, orange paint beneath the rust. Number 12 still holds the letters, but it doesn't hold either of us. There's a pair of yellow rain boots by the back porch screen. Mud still dried around the edges from a day last spring. You left them there one Sunday when the garden flooded through. Said I'll grab them when I come back. I said I'll leave them here for you. Summer warmed the wooden railing, tomatoes climbed the wire. Dad repaired the broken gate, Mom hung sheets beside the dryer. Everybody stopped mentioning how long you'd been away, but those boots stayed by the doorway like they knew you'd come someday. I never moved them to the closet, never washed the dirt away. Some things aren't really waiting, they just remember who once stayed. Changed around this house, but I left one thing untouched. Rain boots by the back porch. Funny how something small can mean so much. October brought the pumpkins, December dressed the roof. By February I had almost stopped expecting any news. Then April filled the yard again with daffodils and bees, and I learned a home can keep on living even with an empty seat. I painted all the kitchen cabinets, threw the old rug out, turned your room into a workspace, let some sunlight in somehow. But every time I crossed the porch I'd see that faded pair and wonder if remembering you was keeping you right there. Maybe letting go isn't clearing every trace somebody made. Maybe healing leaves a doorway for the good things that remain. Rain boots by the back porch, faded underneath the afternoon. They survived a year of weather and 100 changing moons. I stopped asking when you would call me, stopped rehearsing what I'd say. But the rain boots by the back porch stayed exactly where you left them that day. Then one warm Saturday in May I heard the gravel move. A car door closed beyond the fence, I didn't know what to do. You walked around the side of the house with shorter hair and shaking hands. No suitcase full of explanations, no perfectly rehearsed plans. You looked toward the porch and laughed, then covered your mouth to cry. Are those seriously still here? I smiled. I guess they never learned goodbye. You sat beside me on the steps for a while, neither of us spoke. No dramatic explanation could repair what distance broke. Then you told me where you'd been, why coming home had taken years, and I listened without fixing every silence, every tear. Rain boots by the back porch, you pulled them on that afternoon. They were faded, cracked and crooked, but somehow they still fit you. We walked together through the garden where the first spring flowers grew, not pretending nothing happened, not becoming who we knew. Rain boots by the back porch, they weren't waiting for the past, they were waiting for two people strong enough to come back. yellow seasons. The back porch was empty. For the first time, that felt right. Chairs were upside down on tables. Someone swept the floor behind the bar. You were counting out the register. I was watching headlights from afar. I should have left an hour earlier. My coat was folded on my chair, but you kept finding little reasons to ask if I still wanted something there. You poured the final cup between us, said this one's on the house tonight. I wrapped both hands around the warmth and tried to get the timing right. For 6 whole months I'd come on Fridays, order something I barely knew. Maybe I never loved the coffee, maybe I just came for you. It was the last cup before closing. The open sign was going dark. You asked me why I always waited till the whole room fell apart. I said there's something I've been hiding, and I'm tired of almost knowing. Then you smiled and pulled up a chair for the last cup before closing. You knew I hated extra sugar. I knew you worked till 10:30. You knew about my awful landlord. I knew you'd call your mother every weekend. We built a life from little minutes, never calling it a thing. A joke beside the pastry counter, your favorite movie every spring. Outside, the street cleaner passed us inside. Neither one moved. You traced a circle on your napkin and said, I've been waiting to. No orchestra began playing, no movie moment filled the room. Just 2 people finally saying what silence already knew. It was the last cup before closing. The kitchen lights were shutting down. You said I thought you'd never tell me. I laughed and nearly spilled it out. All those Fridays I've been hoping you could read what I wasn't showing. Turns out you were waiting there for the last cup before closing. Then you locked the front door slowly and flipped the little sign around. We stood beneath the striped awning with no one else around. You said breakfast starts at 7. I'm off tomorrow if you're free. I said somewhere without a counter. You said that sounds good to me. And suddenly 6 months of maybe became Saturday at 9. Nothing changed about the whole world, but everything changed in mine. Now I remember that last cup before closing, not for what we drank that night, but because a tiny bit of courage finally got the timing right. There were no grand declarations, no perfect words worth quoting, just your hand reaching out for mine after the last cup before closing. And sometimes love begins that way, not with fireworks exploding, but with 2 people choosing not to leave. At the last cup before closing, the coffee went cold, the street went quiet. You locked the door, I stayed. And Saturday morning couldn't come fast enough. There was a birthday down on Willow Drive, paper plates and kids running wild. Someone let a yellow balloon go free, and it landed in the old oak tree. You were standing underneath its shade, laughing at the plans the children made. You said, maybe it just likes the view. I said, maybe it was waiting here for you. We didn't know what came next, didn't need to understand. You had grass stains on your blue jeans, I had summer in my hands. Like a balloon caught in the oak tree. Some dreams don't go where we planned, they get tangled in the branches, but they don't have to land. Maybe growing up is learning, not every wish needs to come true. Sometimes something stays above you just to change your point of view. Like that yellow balloon caught in the oak tree the afternoon I met you. September came and school bells rang. We carved our initials where the tire swing hung. You wanted oceans, I wanted home. Neither one of us knew how far we'd go. Years later I drove down Willow Drive. The little white house was still alive. New children played across the lawn, but our crooked letters weren't quite gone. I looked up through those branches, half expecting yellow there. Instead I found an open sky and sunlight everywhere. Like a balloon caught in the oak tree. Some dreams stay longer than they should. We keep reaching from the sidewalk, thinking maybe someday we could. But letting go isn't losing when the memory still feels true. Sometimes love can leave your hands and still leave something good in you. Like that yellow balloon caught in the oak tree the summer I knew you. I used to think that happiness was getting everything you chose. The right house, the right forever, every door that never closed. Now I know a different kind, the kind that doesn't ask to stay, the kind that gives you something beautiful, then trust you with the change. Maybe that balloon broke loose one night, maybe the wind carried it away. Maybe no one even noticed when it disappeared someday. But I remember looking upward and believing just because that something could be out of reach and still belong to us. Like a balloon caught in the oak tree, I don't need to bring it down. I can love the way it colored one small summer in that town. Every dream doesn't need an ending, every love doesn't need a name. Some things only come to show us we'll never leave exactly the same. So here's to every hope that wandered, every plan that changed somehow, every yellow balloon we couldn't rescue. I understand them now. It wasn't stuck, it wasn't lost, it was showing me how to look up. Willow Drive is quiet now, the old oak still stands tall. And whenever something slips away, I don't chase it anymore. I watch it rise, I let it go, and thank it for being mine at all.